Welcome to the channel. If you're over 70 and planning your next adventure, there are some important things you need to know before you hit the road. In today's video, we'll uncover 7 hidden dangers of traveling after 70 that could impact your trip. But don't worry, we'll also give you tips to stay safe and enjoy your travels. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up if you find this video helpful. And I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below telling me where you're watching from and how old you are. Let's get started. 1. Underlying health issues and how they can impact your travel plans. As we age, our bodies go through changes that might not be as noticeable day to day, but they can have a significant impact when we travel. It's important to remember that certain health conditions, whether chronic or previously undiagnosed, can be triggered or aggravated by the stress and physical demands of travel. Before planning your next trip, it's crucial to have an honest conversation with your doctor about any health concerns. Conditions like heart disease, diabetes, or arthritis can affect how you experience long flights, extended walking tours, or even just adjusting to a new time zone. For example, if you suffer from arthritis, long periods of sitting on a plane or walking through airports can cause discomfort or swelling. Similarly, if you have a history of heart disease, the stress of rushing to catch a flight, jet lag, or high altitudes may strain your heart more than you expect. But it's not just chronic conditions that could create travel difficulties. Sometimes, travel itself can unearth hidden health issues. For example, dehydration, which often goes unnoticed, can lead to fatigue, headaches, and dizziness. This is particularly important when traveling to a destination with a hot climate or high altitudes, where staying hydrated becomes even more critical. Medication also plays a crucial role. If you're taking medication for a chronic condition, be sure to plan ahead. This includes carrying extra prescriptions, understanding how time zone changes might affect your medication schedule, and making sure you have access to your necessary medications abroad. Traveling with a list of your medications and their dosages can save you in an emergency. Additionally, there's always the possibility of needing emergency medical attention. Travel insurance is essential, but more importantly, research medical facilities at your destination beforehand. Are there hospitals nearby? Do they have the equipment and specialists you need in case something goes wrong? Knowing where the nearest medical center is could be a lifesaver in a moment of panic. Taking the time to properly assess your health before a trip will not only help you avoid unpleasant surprises, but it will also allow you to plan a safer, more enjoyable experience. Stay ahead of any potential health challenges, and you can continue to enjoy the travel you love, while keeping your well-being a top priority. 2. Changes in your body and how aging affects your travels. As we get older, our bodies naturally undergo a series of changes that can influence how we experience travel. It's easy to forget that these changes, often gradual, can have a big impact when you're hopping on a plane, navigating a busy airport, or exploring a new city. Understanding how aging affects your physical abilities can help you prepare for the challenges and ensure your trips are as enjoyable as possible. One of the most significant changes is how our stamina and energy levels shift. In your younger years, you might have been able to walk for hours without thinking twice, but as we age, our bodies require more time to rest and recover. What once felt like a casual stroll can now become more tiring, especially when combined with long flights or sudden changes in climate. If you're planning a sightseeing-heavy trip or a hike through the mountains, it's important to consider how long you can comfortably stay active. You may need to adjust your itinerary, allowing more time for rest and less intense activities throughout the day. Another major factor is the decline in flexibility and mobility. As we get older, muscles and joints lose some of their range of motion. This means that activities that require bending, stretching, or long periods of standing may become more difficult or even painful. If you're going to be exploring cities with cobblestone streets, climbing stairs, or walking through uneven terrain, it's essential to plan for extra breaks and ensure you're wearing comfortable, supportive shoes. One of the more noticeable impacts of aging is how quickly we recover after physical exertion. After a long day of walking or carrying heavy luggage, your body may take longer to bounce back. Muscle soreness, joint stiffness, and fatigue can set in more quickly than when you were younger. This is why pacing yourself on trips is more important than ever. A good strategy is to alternate between active and restful days, mixing more energetic activities like city tours with relaxation periods so your body has time to recharge. Dehydration can also become more of an issue as you age. Our bodies tend to retain less water as we get older, and we may not feel thirsty as often, even when our bodies need hydration. This can lead to fatigue, headaches, and dizziness, particularly in warmer climates or on long flights. Make it a point to drink plenty of water throughout the day, especially when traveling across time zones or to places with different climates than what you're used to. Lastly, aging can affect your ability to sleep well. Jet lag and time zone changes might be harder to adjust to, and disrupted sleep patterns can leave you feeling worn out, even after a short trip. Try to adapt your sleep schedule a few days before you travel, or use travel aids like sleep masks or melatonin to help your body adjust more easily. By understanding how aging affects your body, you can take steps to adjust your travel habits, ensuring that you're comfortable, energized, and ready to explore. It's all about listening to your body, making small adjustments, and most importantly, knowing that you don't need to rush. Traveling at your own pace will make all the difference. 3. Risks of accidents and falls while traveling. One of the most common and often overlooked dangers when traveling after the age of 70 is the risk of falls and accidents. It's easy to assume that these risks only apply to older adults with significant mobility issues, but in reality, even those who feel relatively healthy and active can face challenges when navigating unfamiliar environments. In fact, research shows that older adults are far more likely to experience falls during travel due to changes in routine, environment, and physical conditions. The first thing to consider is the physical changes that occur as we age. As we grow older, our balance and coordination naturally decline. This means that what might seem like a small stumble could quickly lead to a serious fall, especially on slippery floors, uneven pavements, or steep stairs. Airports, hotels, and tourist destinations aren't always designed with the elderly in mind, which can make navigating these spaces more hazardous. Airports and train stations can be particularly risky. Long, crowded hallways, escalators, and stairways often present challenges, and trying to rush to catch a flight or train can cause accidents. To minimize these risks, it's a good idea to allow yourself plenty of time for transfers and layovers. Moving at a slower, more controlled pace will help you avoid the temptation to rush, reducing your chances of tripping or falling. When traveling through unfamiliar cities or countries, be aware of potential hazards in your surroundings. Many tourist attractions, old cities, and natural sites may feature uneven cobblestones, steep steps, or narrow walkways. Even seemingly simple tasks like crossing the street or getting on and off public transportation can become unexpectedly dangerous. When you're walking on unfamiliar surfaces, it's essential to stay vigilant and wear sturdy shoes with good support to help maintain your stability. In addition, many older adults struggle with reduced vision, which can make it harder to spot potential hazards in your path. Dimming streetlights, unfamiliar terrain, and even the glare from sunlight can make it more difficult to see obstacles. If you're traveling in the evening or to a location with challenging lighting, consider carrying a small flashlight or using a headlamp to help illuminate your path. To minimize these risks, always be proactive. If possible, research your destination ahead of time to identify areas with potential hazards. When you arrive, take a moment to get familiar with your surroundings, especially if you're staying in a hotel or Airbnb. Look for handrails, well-lit walkways, and any potential obstacles that might be in your way. And don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Whether it's asking someone to assist with your luggage or requesting extra support from airport staff. Ultimately, the key to avoiding accidents and falls while traveling is to stay cautious and prepared. By being aware of your surroundings, making adjustments to your travel habits, and listening to your body, you can reduce the chances of injury and ensure that your trips remain enjoyable and stress-free. 4. Challenges with mobility and accessibility in tourist destinations. Traveling after the age of 70 can be an incredibly enriching experience, but one of the most significant challenges seniors face is navigating the accessibility and mobility limitations of certain destinations. While many places have made strides in improving accessibility, there are still plenty of locations where getting around can be difficult, frustrating, or even unsafe for older travelers. One of the first things to consider is the infrastructure of your destination. Major cities in developed countries tend to have better public transportation options, ramps, and elevators, but this is not the case everywhere. Cobblestone streets, narrow alleys, and stairs instead of ramps are common in older cities or historical sites, and these can pose serious mobility issues for seniors. What may seem like an exciting adventure could quickly turn into a physically exhausting or even dangerous situation if you're not prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. For example, many ancient cities, especially in Europe or the Mediterranean, were built centuries ago, long before the concept of accessible design was considered. This means that many beautiful, historic sites, while stunning, might require navigating steep inclines or walking on uneven terrain. While the views from a mountaintop castle or ancient amphitheater might be breathtaking, getting there can be a physically demanding task. Even something as simple as walking around a beautiful town square can become a marathon when the pavement is uneven and the walkways are cramped. In addition to the terrain, many popular tourist attractions still lack adequate accommodations for those with limited mobility. Ramps and elevators are not always available, and some locations may have little to no accessible seating for rest. In these cases, visiting the site becomes less about enjoying the experience and more about surviving the physical strain. To avoid frustration, do some research before you travel. Look up reviews or guides that focus on accessibility to ensure the sites you plan to visit are accessible for seniors. Another challenge that comes with mobility is finding transportation that is both convenient and senior-friendly. Some cities have excellent public transportation systems with buses and trains that are designed to accommodate people with limited mobility, but others may have limited options or poorly maintained facilities. Before you travel, research the transportation options available in your destination. Are there taxis with accessible vehicles? Are buses equipped with ramps? If public transportation isn't an option, consider alternatives like hiring a private guide or using rideshare services, which can be more comfortable and flexible. On top of these physical challenges, the pace of travel can also pose a problem. When you're older, you may find that you need more time to rest, and that your stamina isn't what it used to be. Trying to keep up with younger companions or going on back-to-back sightseeing tours can be exhausting. It's essential to plan your itinerary with plenty of downtime to rest, so you don't feel rushed or overwhelmed. A good rule of thumb is to limit the number of activities per day and leave some space for spontaneous breaks. This will allow you to enjoy your trip without feeling drained. 5. Difficulties with travel insurance and medical emergencies. When traveling after 70, one of the most critical aspects to consider is how to handle unexpected medical emergencies. And this is where travel insurance plays a key role. While everyone should have travel insurance, seniors often face higher premiums and more restrictive coverage. The reality is that medical emergencies can happen at any age, but as we get older, the risks increase, making travel insurance even more important. First, let's talk about the challenges of obtaining insurance. Many standard travel insurance policies may not cover pre-existing medical conditions, which is a significant concern for seniors who might be managing health issues like high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart disease. Without the proper coverage, if you were to experience a medical emergency while abroad, whether it's an accident, an illness, or even just a routine complication, your out-of-pocket expenses could skyrocket, and you may be left with little to no financial protection. This makes it essential to find a travel insurance plan that specifically includes coverage for pre-existing conditions. Some companies offer specialized senior travel insurance that caters to older travelers, providing more comprehensive medical coverage. Even if you have travel insurance, it's crucial to read the fine print and fully understand your policy. Does it cover emergency evacuation in case you need to be flown back to your home country for medical treatment? Does it provide coverage for emergency room visits, prescription medications, or medical transport? Are there any exclusions or limits when it comes to specific countries or regions? Knowing the details will give you peace of mind and help you avoid unpleasant surprises during your trip. In addition to insurance, it's also important to be aware of the healthcare system in the country you're visiting. Different countries have different levels of medical care, and not all of them may be equipped to handle emergencies or provide the level of care you're used to at home. If you're traveling to a destination where the healthcare system is less developed, it's wise to plan for the worst-case scenario. Research hospitals and clinics near your accommodation, and note whether they are equipped to treat conditions relevant to you. If you're traveling in remote areas, consider purchasing additional coverage for evacuation to the nearest major hospital or medical facility. Another consideration is the language barrier. In many countries, English might not be widely spoken, which can complicate getting the care you need during an emergency. This is where preparing ahead of time can make a big difference. Learn a few key medical phrases in the local language, or download a translation app that includes medical terms. Carry a medical card that details your conditions, allergies, medications, and emergency contact information in the local language to show healthcare providers in case of an emergency. Before embarking on your trip, make sure you have a list of all your medications, including the generic names, in case you need a refill or have a prescription issue abroad. Some countries may not carry your specific medication, so it's important to plan ahead. Always bring enough medication for the entire trip and pack it in your carry-on bag to avoid issues if your checked luggage gets delayed. It's also a good idea to bring a copy of your prescriptions with you, especially if you're traveling internationally. Lastly, if you are traveling to a location where medical care might be difficult to access, consider whether it's worth having a travel companion. A friend or family member can assist with medical issues, offer support in case of illness, or help you navigate through healthcare systems in unfamiliar places. Traveling with someone not only provides an extra layer of safety, but also helps with the emotional support that can be critical in an emergency situation. In conclusion, while the thrill of travel shouldn't be overshadowed by concerns about medical emergencies, being prepared is the key to staying safe. Travel insurance, careful planning, and understanding the healthcare resources at your destination will ensure that you're ready for whatever comes your way. By taking the necessary steps to protect your health, you can enjoy the adventure without unnecessary worries. 6. The impact of time zones and jet lag on seniors. Traveling across time zones can be a fun adventure, but for seniors, the effects of jet lag can be more pronounced and harder to recover from. The disruption to your body's internal clock can affect your sleep, energy levels, and overall well-being, making it harder to enjoy your trip, especially when traveling to faraway destinations. Older adults tend to have more difficulty adjusting to time zone changes because our bodies produce less of the hormone melatonin, which helps regulate sleep. This means that you may find it harder to fall asleep or wake up at the right times when you land in a new destination. Additionally, jet lag can exacerbate other health issues, including fatigue, dizziness, and dehydration, which can leave you feeling less than your best when you should be exploring new places. To minimize the impact of jet lag, it's important to prepare ahead of time. Gradually adjust your sleep schedule a few days before departure to align more closely with your destination's time zone. During the flight, drink plenty of water to stay hydrated and avoid caffeine or alcohol, which can disrupt sleep. Once you arrive, try to spend time outdoors in natural sunlight to help reset your body clock. Short naps can help, but avoid long periods of sleep during the day, as this can throw off your adjustment to the new time zone. By taking these small steps, you can ease the effects of jet lag and ensure that you're feeling energized and ready to enjoy your trip. 7. The importance of staying connected and safe while traveling. When traveling at an older age, staying connected to family and friends is not only reassuring, it's a crucial part of ensuring your safety. While technology can make travel easier and more enjoyable, it also provides essential tools to stay in touch with loved ones and alert them if something goes wrong. One of the most important things to do before you travel is to share your itinerary and contact details with a trusted person back home. This gives them a way to reach you in case of an emergency. In addition, make sure to have a reliable phone plan with international coverage or buy a local SIM card if you're traveling abroad. Apps like WhatsApp or Skype can help you stay in touch without incurring high phone charges, and having the contact details of local emergency services on hand can be life-saving in certain situations. In addition to keeping in touch with loved ones, consider using safety devices designed for older travelers. For example, a GPS-enabled device or a personal safety alarm can provide added peace of mind, especially if you're traveling alone or in unfamiliar places. Some companies even offer wearable emergency buttons that can alert emergency services or a family member if you need help. Staying connected not only helps you feel secure, but it also ensures that in the event of an emergency, you have a support system ready to assist you, no matter where you are in the world. Now that you're aware of the hidden dangers and the ways to stay safe and comfortable, it's time to take on the world with confidence. Traveling after 70 is all about enjoying new experiences, discovering new places, and creating memories that will last a lifetime. With the right preparation and a little mindfulness, you can make the most of every journey, no matter where you go. Before you head off on your next adventure, remember to pack your curiosity, your sense of adventure, and of course, the knowledge that you've got what it takes to explore the world with confidence. Where are you planning your next trip? Drop a comment below and share your upcoming travel plans or any tips you've learned along the way. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video helpful, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss more tips and advice on how to travel smart and stay safe. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one.